Tears in rain. These famous words are the last of one from the masterpiece of Blade Runner. But what do they really mean? I'm Nick, and today let's have a look at the most mysterious and debated final words of Roy Batty. I assume most of you that are watching will know the premise of the film, but if not, here is a quick catch-up. In Blade Runner, set in a dystopian future, androids have been created, ones with human emotions. These replicants, as they are called, were used as slave labor until some developed the ability to think for themselves, rebelled, and then were outlawed. Special units were then created to hunt down the replicants. These units were known as Blade Runners. Deckard is our main character and Blade Runner, who has been tasked with hunting down a group of rogue replicants, and this is the basic foundation for our film. Already from this little synopsis, big questions can be raised. Is there a real thing that determines humanity? What makes one human? And what right do we have to decide? Blade Runner has so many layers. One could even use it as an anti-racism movie, using dehumanized slaves and then hunting them down like animals when they escape. See a connection? However, this would be a little narrow, and that's not the point. Today we are going to look at Batty's death. The scene begins with Batty in fact saving Deckard from a fall. This without context is such a jarring and out of character action, as just before Batty had been in fact trying to kill Deckard. Then as Batty sits, he begins to speak. His soliloquy here is not only one of the best and most heartbreaking monologues in cinema, but is also in a way a beautiful death wish.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain. Time to die.
Roy Batty had a dream, but was however ruthlessly hunted down and discriminated against, and treated as inhuman. Yet here he transcends his place and becomes more human than human. Batty saved Deckard as in his last moments he understood humanity better than Deckard, and saved him as in his impending death he wanted to do something human, meaningful, before he died. Although Batty is a replicant, his dream is achingly human. Simply to live longer than his pre-programmed 4 years, not for money or power, but simply to live longer. Although he has seen all these amazing and unforgettable sights, the line,
all those moments will be lost in time,
is in a way him accepting that he will never be able to achieve his dream. He is just tears in rain. I love how this is not tears in the rain, as that would distinguish the two, instead of washing tears away.
to die.
Roy Batty's struggles and dreams, his humanity, is just tears, and the onslaught of scientific-driven discrimination, the rain. The way Batty is presented, shirtless, vulnerable, and human, bleeding, is just as sad. He's tried so hard, and now we see him in the most human light in the onslaught of the rain. Lashed at by the very metaphorical discrimination he has explained. Batty also doubling as a metaphor, as although all these great sights and deeds have happened to him, they will die with him. His humanity and his memories in general are just emotion, tears, washed away in the rain. The whole movie Batty had been the villain, and now we only see him as a man who has lost everything, including his dream. Then just as Batty says, time to die, he lowers his head and accepts it all, and passes. He then lets go of the dove he had been grasping, perhaps a symbol for his holding out for freedom, and it flies into the only look of sunlight throughout the entire movie. Only now is he really free. Batty in his last moments has accepted that he will never be granted the title of human, using his precious last moments to show Deckard that humanity cannot in fact be defined. It's not something that is earned or given, but something we all have. In saving Deckard and accepting the fate of his existence, he understands humanity, and in his last moments, better than anyone. All these things we accomplish, all these things we do, in the end are only ours, and only fleeting, and they will pass with us. It's in these last moments that Batty becomes, in my opinion, truly human. Thank you.